my mum and dad had broken up by this point, and I was pretty much lost, didn't know what I wanted to do. My dad moved abroad, and I just fell on the streets, really.
Tell us the story of that.
Somebody owed some money. I rang him up and said, look, you've got to pay that debt off. And they didn't really take that sort of phone call seriously. And then I shut up the house. I said, listen, I'm telling you, you need to pay that debt. So, I'll give you 7 days. They said, all right, we'll pay it. They agreed to pay it. We agreed the location to drop the money off. And then they rang the police, Scotland Yard, and they set up an operation where it just got me trapped.
How much was you owed?
50k.
Did you know any of that was going on, as in the whole operation?
They pulled up with firearms in, these old banger cars, what you wouldn't think of. I'm looking for police cars, right? They're in just normal standard cars, normal, dressed normal. You wouldn't even know it was police. Upbringing was, I would say, a little bit of maybe tough, strict parents, strict household. But at the same time, it was looking back at it now, I think it was really good. It was my dad was very strict, so it put the discipline give us the discipline that we needed to carry us, probably through life and through all the challenges that I face up until now. So, yeah, overall childhood was, I don't know, it's weird to describe childhood, isn't it? The more I think about it, sometimes they're easy, sometimes it's hard, difficult. It's just a mixed of baggage. So, yeah, it served me well up until now, right?
True.
So, yeah.
So what was your relationship with mom and dad?
Mum and dad relationship, young was, they were just the bosses of the household, right? So it's like we was going to do everything they asked us to do. So relationship was good in terms of, it was just, they had set rules and we were just following them, in the house. That's what it was like. So, yeah.
So where did you actually grow up? Manchester?
Manchester, yeah. Manchester,
born and raised. Through and through.
Yeah, born and raised in Manchester, yeah.
So following up from obviously growing up, what was it like growing up as a teen, as you was growing up more in the bigger years where you start to get a bit more freedom in life?
Yeah. I would say that I probably didn't get... My freedom probably kicked in around probably 13, 14.
Okay.
Probably, around 13, 14, 15, where I think my mum and dad had broken up by this point. And I was pretty much lost, didn't know what I wanted to do. My dad moved abroad, and I just fell on the streets, really.
Streets?
Yeah. Meaning that, just looked at the people on the streets and just looked up to them, all the, the drug dealers and...
Drug dealers?
Yeah. Drug dealers and, people that were, just doing, you know how it is on the streets, wherever everyone gets up to. So for me, they became my role models, if that makes sense. And I just followed and just looked at what they was doing. And I thought it was super, super cool, and just kind of followed their footsteps, which, just led me down a crazy path, yeah.
What age was you looking up to these guys? 13, 14?
Yeah, I can't really remember the exact age range, but looking at around 13, 14, 15, around that age, yeah.
And what was it about that lifestyle that intrigued you to want to follow those footsteps?
I think it was just what we knew, from the area we was growing up in. It was you look up to the guys who've got the cars, you look up to the older people, what they're doing. It just seems like they're up to, something good, where you don't know what it is exactly, and you just kind of want to be like them, right? So as men, that's what we do, don't we? We look up to people that we kind of just find role models, right? So whoever's in front of us, in that area. So that's what it was for me, yeah.
So what advice would you give to the younger audience who obviously idolize this lifestyle when they hear it in the music, they see it on Instagram? What would you say to them to make them not fall down that same rabbit hole? So what I would say is now, from looking at it now, I would just say that you really want to kind of move yourself away from that sort of environment. Easier said than done, though, right?
Yeah.
So what you have to really, really do is that understand and know exactly what you want. So you have to really get tuned in with your own thoughts and be like, what is it I want to do? So let's just say you want to be a music artist, or you want to be I don't know, an influencer, you want to be a business guy. Well, then let's look at the top 10 business guys, or let's look at the top 10 music artists. What are they doing? Right? Just look at the top 10 people, study them, and, you know, and then follow their footpaths. See what did they do to see how did they get to where they are currently, and then follow their footsteps, because I'm sure the top 10 in whatever game you want to do, whether it's podcast or whatever it is, they're not going to be on the streets.
True.
Right. So, and then you would follow their footsteps, and it gives you a pathway. Because one thing we don't have is when we're young is we don't have that clarity. So that then gives us that clarity. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So Ibby, what's the earliest memory you have of being involved in the streets?
Yeah, I would say around 15. I was just shotting. Shotting weed and just coke. Just selling bags.
Go on, tell me the story how you got there.
You know what, bro? I'm 35, yeah. I can't. So I think it was just buying ounces of weed or ounces of coke and just like building a shop, like a shot line, by going to parties and then just getting numbers and, just being at parties and then, have you got some sniff? Have you got some weed? Yeah, I can get you some. And I think that's how it probably started, from what I can, if I, really go deep down and start thinking about it. And then it was like, I can make money from this.
I was going to say, how much money was you making?
Like,
as a kid, like 500 a week.
Yeah, it's something like that, like 300, 400, 500 quid a week. Like, you're talking like, I'm 15, 16 now, 17, around that age. So, it's not much, is it? But it was enough at that time. I thought it was a lot of money, and I thought it was, okay, it's getting me, my things that I need. It's getting me my, my clothes, my food. It's the basic. You just look at things in a very short-sighted way, right? And for me, that's what it was at the time, and that kind of, that's all I knew. And then I think I got caught for sniff or something. I was on tag, so then I stopped doing that, and then I went into weed because I thought, well, that's class. It's a lesser class. If I get caught for that,
less trouble.
Yeah, I'm gonna get less in trouble. Yeah. So it was more went down that route. So yeah.
Did your parents ever say anything?
No, they didn't know.
Your mum never knew you was on tag or anything, or like how was you buying all this stuff?
Yeah. Well, it was an ounce is not much, is it? An ounce of coke is only like, you can probably have it in this hand, innit? So it's not much. Or a couple of ounces, even if like a 9 bar, right? It's not a lot, is it? So would you know?
No idea, brother.
Really?
It's better we don't know.
I'm actually so innocent.
Serious?
It's insane.
I mean, I know ounces proper small.
Do you?
Yeah, I know.
He knows everything.
I mean, we're from Handsworth, so it's like you kind of know.
How much is a 9 bar then?
9 bar isn't really.
It's probably the size of a phone. Probably even less than that. Obviously, a bit more.
I just hear that in music and I say, yeah, that sounds hard.
Yeah. but it's not. What we're saying here is that like it's not a lot of stuff. And at the time, that's all I knew how to make some money, and that's what I was doing. And like, even like, I don't even think we should have a laugh about it, because like kids are probably watching that and thinking, yeah, I'm doing that. Listen, you should stay away from that shit. Just stay away from it. Like, that's the whole point of us giving this, telling people that, saying, look, this is not something you want to go down. It's not as glamorous as you think it is. All it's going to do is going to land you in prison.
It's crazy that you said that, because that was the start of your journey.
Yeah.
Right. And then how did you get more involved? Because I've listened to some of your stuff, and there was more dangerous stuff.
So it was from weed to then coke, and I've always been the type that if I want to do something, I want to be at the top of what I'm doing.
Right.
Okay.
So it was like, well, I don't want to be just doing weed and coke, and what else can we do? Then it went on to larger scale drugs, bigger quantity drugs, just bigger quantity stuff. And with that, then you're dealing with a different level of customer, right? Because you're dealing with now directly wholesalers, you're dealing with retailers, and it comes violence if someone doesn't pay. You go and kick his door down, and it's that sort of stupid, dumb stuff. And somebody owed money and we just got involved, and we went to collect the debt, and it just went horribly wrong.
Tell us the story of that.
So it was somebody owed some money. We rang him up. I rang him up and said, "Look, you've got to pay that debt off." And they didn't really take that sort of phone call seriously. And then I shut up the house. I said, "Listen, I'm telling you, you need to pay that debt. So, I'll give you 7 days." They said, "All right, we'll pay it." They agreed to pay it. We agreed the location to drop the money off, and then they rang the police, Scotland Yard, and they set up an operation where they just got me trapped. Said, "Oh, come and drop the money off. It's here." So when we went to pick the money up, I got somebody to go and pick the money up, and it was a full operation where the whole thing was under surveillance. And yeah, that was my first time. Then I just got locked up for that.
And how much was you owed?
50K.
Did you know any of that was going on? As in the whole operation was
I
your
didn't
way?
know. No way. Never. Not even an ounce of. See, when I got arrested, just on that day, they pulled up with firearms in like Nissan Megane, and like a 5 years old, some car. These old banger cars. You wouldn't think of.
So they were like undercover. Is that what you said?
Super undercover.
Yeah.
So we're like, I'm like looking for police cars, right? They're in like just normal standard cars, normal, dressed normal. You wouldn't even know it was police.
So how did you feel when you first got arrested? Like they came with guns.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they came unannounced.
Yeah, well, got arrested kind of 5 minutes later on the scene.
Yeah. Was it quick? Because I remember one time I got pulled over and I got put in cuffs, and that was quick. So I couldn't imagine your situation.
Yeah.
Being quick.
Yeah, because you have to understand that remember it was 50K, right? So we thought we had the 50K in the bag. So I was kind of looking at whether it was fake or if it was real money or not. And I was just in this mind thing, and then suddenly cars pull up with firearms, like, get on the floor. And it was like, it did happen too quick, but I knew what was going on. I knew what was going on. And like, I knew in my heart, I think that, shit, I've been caught here, like red-handed kind of thing. So I think in my mind, it was like, okay, so what's next? So what's next? Where am I going next? Like, I'm just talking to myself. Like, it was police station. I got charged, then it was courts, and then it was remand.
How old was you?
18 or just turned 19 at this point.
Just an adult.
Yeah, still really young.
And walk me through the charge. What were you charged on?
It was conspiracy to blackmail with intent to use firearm. Yeah.
And how many was you facing?
I ended up getting 8 years for that.
8 years.
Yeah. But I was in like remand for a few years, and then I actually ran a trial.
So
even though I got caught red-handed.
You took it to trial.
Yeah, even though I got caught red-handed,
yeah,
I actually took it for trial. I don't know.
So did you get added more for taking it to trial?
Yeah, you get.
Yeah, I thought
that's
so.
Why I got,
I'm about to say, because you get less if you just say it.
Yeah.
So how did the trial go? Like, even though you've been caught red-handed, what did you say to them to say, listen, it's not what it seems like?
Yeah, it was. It was, bro.
Like, you've been caught 4K.
Yeah, it was stupid. You know what it was? You know why I went to court? So because I thought that the guy that had pressed charges was going to drop the case. Right? Okay. So I thought, if I go guilty, he's going to turn around and say, well, I was going to drop the case, but you went guilty. So I thought, if I go not guilty, then that way I'll just drag this out. What's the worst? The worst that's going to happen is I'm going to probably get extra 2 years. But I would rather get the extra 2 years knowing that he didn't drop the charges. So I think it was just a personal thing.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario. Just 2 years.
Yeah, because he was saying, look, I'm going to drop this. I'm going to drop.
Oh, he was saying.
Yeah, he was saying I'm going to drop the charges, and by this point I hadn't gone court. So I was like, okay, well, you're talking, but you're not got in touch with anyone to drop them. So, and then I considered both options. If I go guilty, I'll probably get 5. If I go not guilty, I'm taking the risk of going trial, but I'm getting clarity on whether he was or if he wasn't.
Okay.
Right? So it was like, and then I did go trial. He didn't drop the charges, but then I knew like 100%. Okay, so you didn't drop the charges. That's fine. You know, it was just for my personal thing.
Yeah, fair enough. So tell us about prison. You went to prison at what, 19?
Yeah. Bro,
was you scared?
I don't think I was scared. It was just I probably just grew up a little quick. Like, there was a lot of things, moving parts in prison. You know, obviously there's a lot of older people in prison, people that have been in the prison game for like years, and I was just really new. So it was just like learn everything quick, grow up quick. You know, you build character in prison. You know, you do, because you know you're around serious people. So if you're gonna just come and talk foolish stuff, you're gonna get, you know, told straight away, like, yo, fix up, like, what you're talking about. So your upbringing has a big, how you grew up and how you act and how you respond to things, and if you're petty or if you're not, you're gonna quickly get found out. Like, you know, you're gonna quickly grow up. You're gonna learn to grow up by watching people and seeing things and think like, okay, shit, like just little things, right? You're just gonna fix up and learn fast, quick time, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'll give you an example. So, for example, let's say you're at home and you're a teenager, you don't clean your room, for example. Yeah. Like, it's not gonna get tolerated up there. Like, just little things like that. You just make sure, if you're messy, then you know you're gonna be known as the messy person. And it's just not a good look to have when everyone else, people are doing 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. These are serious people. They've got everything on lock. They're so disciplined. They get up in the morning. They're very polite. Doesn't matter. They could be, you know, it could be someone that's charged with, like, let's just say a serious crime. But you go and speak to them for 5 minutes and they're just super polite. And you look at yourself and you think, fucking hell, I'm 19. I've got a big mouth on me, right? I've not achieved nothing. I've got a shitty little charge, and you know, it just puts things into perspective. Like, these are serious people, and you would think that the most humble person ever. So it just kind of makes you look at life a lot more differently. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like for the younger ones at home, because I know when people hear prison, they think, oh, I can probably go to prison. I'll hold my weight in prison. Yeah. Paint a picture to those of what prison's actually like, how it's not what people think it is.
Yeah, bro, there's different tiers of prison, right? You could have like a cat, if it's a cat A, double cat A, there's a cat B, you know, cat B prisons, cat C prisons, cat D. So the more higher it is, the more open and the more freedom you have, right? But normal remand prisons, right, at the moment, they're just a mess. Like, you have to understand, I was in jail from 2000, you know, it was a long time ago. So now I've heard, like, everyone's got iPhones in there, and you know, there's different things going on at this stage. So like, but still, overall, prison is tough. Like, you know, you haven't got the freedom. The freedom is the most important thing in life. That's what jail taught me. When I come out, your time and your freedom is the most important thing. But everyone overlooks that just because they're young or something. You know, and you know, look. Like, now I would say that, you know, I needed it because, you know, I don't know where I would have been. So it's made me who I am today. But, you know, in every situation you go through in life, it's what you're going to take from that. So if we've been put through, let's just say, really tough times, all three of us, you know, we could look at that and think, you know, become a victim or be like, okay, well, what are the lessons that we can take from here? So it's not about going prison or, you know, I would say avoid prison. But if you know someone, if you're watching and you know that, you know, you're not listening to anybody and you need some isolation and you need to go to prison, then you go to prison. Because go there 4 or 5 years and then it might, you know, make you a different person. It might make you realize and see things that you would obviously otherwise would have not done. So, like, everyone knows themselves, I think. Like, I know myself, like, if I didn't go, either I would have probably got done for a worse charge or probably ended up dead or somewhere because I was really dangerous. Like, I know, like, what I was doing. So everyone knows, you all know yourself. Everyone knows themselves. So, you know, sometimes a prison can be a good thing as well. So I wouldn't just say it's just a bad thing. Like, now, from where I am now, I obviously don't want to go there because I've got my shit in order.
So tell us about your personal prison journey.
Yes.
So like, how was it when you first went in? Did you get roughed up at all?
No. I did.
Any fights? Any?
No. I did. It was no fights. It was no nothing. I'm just a very good observer. I pick things up really, really fast. So like I said, it was just learning the basics of how life works. You know, in prison, like, you have to stand at your door by 8 o'clock in the morning. There's a count every morning, 7 or 8 o'clock. The guards come and count you. You have to make your bed every morning. You have to go to, it's very disciplined. Like, everything's very scheduled, like 11 a.m. or 12 a.m. you get your lunch. In the morning you get breakfast, and then you have to go education, or you have to go work. Then you come back, then it's like an hour break, and then, you know, you get to go work again, then you come back, and then it's like you get an hour association time where you can have a shower or play some pool and get on the phone. So it's very disciplined. So for me, it just put discipline in me, you know. Really, it was just discipline and learning more about myself, growing up as a person. How, you know, it's more, you get more in tune with yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Proper personal development.
Yeah.
Because we've spoken to a lot of people who've been in prison, and they always said that they found the most time to be productive with the mind, really educate themselves to get to that next level.
100%.
Now, following on from prison,
Yeah.
Was it twice you went prison?
Yeah, twice.
So what happened there?
So
you came out once.
Yeah, so I come out. I just didn't really learn my lesson first time.
So what was you doing for the other 8 years in prison?
Yeah, I was just fucking about, really. I didn't really learn any lessons. And plus, I think for me, I just didn't know what else I could do. So it's like when I come out, I thought, well, I've got jail behind me now, so people are going to respect me more on the streets. So I'll just carry on doing the stuff on the streets, but with a bit more intensity. Right. You know, because I've got more, you know, credibility type thing, or I've got more respect type thing. And
did your parents, because you said your parents were strict back in the day, did they not say anything like before you went in or after you came out?
No, so my dad was abroad. So he'd been abroad, and mum had passed away at this point.
Your mum had passed away?
Yeah, whilst I was in prison, yeah.
Whoa.
How did that make you feel?
You know, it was really sad. It was just really upsetting. But I think that was one of the reasons as well, because it was just so close to me coming out.
Yeah.
When I then did come out, it was just like I was just a little bit lost.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Ibby, paint a picture of how that was in that day, because I could imagine being in prison and getting the phone call.
Yeah, it wasn't a phone call. It was like, what happens is in prison, when something happens like that, the chaplain comes and sees you and said, "Listen, we need to have a word with you." So the pastor, he come and see me. He took me to the chaplain, and he sat me down and he just said, "Look, we've just had a phone call. Your mum's seriously ill. So, you know, she might not be able to make it." I think it was just pretty straightforward like that, and we'll keep you informed. And then it was like a couple of hours later, you know, she's not doing really well. She's not doing well, blah, blah, blah. And then it was like a few hours later, it was like, okay, well, we have to turn the machines off. So it was just pretty.
What condition did she have?
She had kidney dialysis. She had kidney problems. So she suffered a stroke.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did she suffer that while you was in prison, or was that just a past?
I don't know. She had a brain hemorrhage, so she suffered a stroke. It was just one day she woke up in the morning and she just fell on the floor. Damn. So that was that. Yeah, no. And then from there it was just they said to me, "We'll either take you to the funeral or we'll take you to the burial." Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And they took me there in cuffs and then just brought me straight back.
They took you in cuffs.
Yeah, and then a few months later, I think it was, I was getting released anyway, or it was 6 months later. It was in the last year. So I think that played on my mind a little bit. So when I came out, I was just kind of lost, and then I just fell back into the streets. Yeah. Yo, guy, have you seen this? Make sure you leave this in. Don't clip this out.
Yeah, we need a better tape.
What, we put toothpaste behind that?
Something like that. Yeah.
That's what they do in prison.
They put toothpaste.
Yeah, toothpaste works. So put toothpaste behind it, and it just sticks on. Yeah. So basically, I was a bit lost, and then I just basically cracked on with, started doing the same stuff, dumb stuff, a bit more intensity, and then I got locked up again within a few months.
What kind of stuff was you doing? Tell us.
Kidnapping.
Huh?
Yeah.
For what reason? Like,
because what happens is when somebody owes you, let's just say you owe me money, and then you're not paying that money. So it's like, I'm going to think like, well, how am I going to get this? So like, I need you to be in, I need you to be somewhere so I can have a chat with you. So there's two ways I'm going to do that. I'm going to either come to your house nice and just have a conversation, which probably isn't going to go well. Or two is I'm going to make a plan of bundling you in a car and thinking, well, and that's the route we went down. And again, we were just young. We were just so stupid that, like, that's the only route we seen and that's what we done. And then end up getting locked up for that as well.
Flipping out.
Yeah.
So the first time you go in, it was for, remind me of that charge?
Yeah, so it was blackmail and...
It was a blackmail. And then
and
the second,
firearms,
and
yeah.
then the second one was kidnapping.
No, it was, conspiracy to kidnap and conspiracy to blackmail as well.
Second one.
Yeah.
So...
And did he snitch on you?
Yeah.
So you kidnapped him.
Yeah.
And you put him in a car.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
So without going into graphic details, obviously we applied some violence to him, and it was we tried saying that when are you going to pay the money?
Yeah.
And then that conversation led us. So we was with him, and then his family called the police because he was like with us for 2-3 hours now. He'd been on missing radar. So then we took him to his house, because he said the money's at his house.
Right.
And then by the time we got to his house, police showed up whilst we was there with him. So we left him and ran. But by this time, our cars and everything were there. So it's like we had left so much fingerprints and evidence on that spot. That's how then police got to our cars and possessions and then tracked us.
So
we weren't the smartest criminals.
Yeah.
we were clearly stupid.
Did they catch you the same night, or?
No. So 2 of my co-Ds got arrested on the same night.
Okay.
And then I got arrested. I was on the run for about 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
5 weeks.
Where was you running?
No, where I was staying.
Where was you running? Yeah.
Did you leave the city, or was it the same city? What?
No, I was in the same city. I was just in a flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, low key flat.
Very.
And then I was going gym one day, and
you still going gym after you gym?
yeah. Can't miss gym, right?
You gotta go gym.
You can't miss gym.
Man,
Yeah. Can't miss gym. But went gym, and then they pulled up on me at the gym. And then arrested me, yeah.
So you tell me you just got your Beat headphones on. About to leave the gym.
I don't think they had Beat headphones then, bro.
So you tell me you walked out.
It was just Nokias, isn't it? Or Blackberries, yeah.
So you walked out in the Nokia. I know you said, oh,
yeah.
I know.
No, I pulled up in a car. So I was driving.
Yeah.
And I parked up, and it was a car park right behind me there.
Yeah.
Just so I couldn't reverse back. So I got out of the car, I think it was like 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
Thinking, I'm going to do some back or something. And just getting my water. And as I got out of the car, they just arrested me again. It was undercover 5-0. Said,
So you said the
Ibby
undercovers are really undercovers?
Yeah.
So how did you
There's
feel
a lot
that
of
second
undercovers
time?
out there. Huh?
How did you feel the second time?
I knew my time was up. I think I said it was something I really had to do that day as well, and it was just like, it's both times it's just been off guard.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say, did you have any children at this point or anything?
Children?
Yeah.
No. I've been really smart like that. Like I've never been like when I've been with women and that. It's just not. I've been very, very really careful like that.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Did you have a missus at the time?
Did I have a miss at that time? You're gonna get me in trouble, you bro. No, I didn't have a missus at the time. No.
Fair enough. I was just gonna ask.
Is that because she might be watching?
No, I actually didn't have a missus at that time. No.
Fair enough.
I was speaking to a few people, but yeah, I didn't have a missus.
So you was in the streets.
Yeah.
So in both ways.
So tell us about prison the second time. What
same, but just this
same
time
level prison?
No,
or?
it's like going from high school to college. The mentality. Yeah. So meaning like the mentality when you go first school, you know, everything's, and then when you go to college, you're a bit more confident in it. You just know the shit. You know how everything works. So it's like, you know the system now. You know how everything works. And plus you have to understand it was 5 of us, 5 co-defendants. So we had each other. So if imagine like us
you all get put together.
Hey?
You all get put together.
Yeah. So imagine like us 3 now, like we've done something. And then you go on your own, you might feel a bit, but if all 3 of us go together, it's like you got each other's backs in it.
Okay.
So it's a different level of comfort, and it comes with a lot more strength because it's 5 of you. So if anything happens, you know you've got each other. And plus, if you're on serious charges and you're serious people as well, then you're respected even more. You know, it's all like, that's how it is. It goes off your charges, how long you're gonna get, how long have you done in the past, and it's a very small world, the prison world. Like everyone knows each other, so it's like, you know, it's that's how it works.
So did anything crazy happen while you was in prison this time? Because the first time...
No, you mean fights and that sort of thing?
Yeah. Or just anything in life.
You know what? If you had to like paint the worst story to stop someone from going to prison, what story would you tell them?
I would say that... No, I would tell them to go. Yeah, I say to people, go in prison. You fucking deserve to go in prison, you. Because you know, you being out here is just... You're not learning anything. So you go in prison, go and spend some time, and then you'll learn a lot. Because I know people, especially for men, I know, like, I've seen it. Like, I grew up fast up there.
Yeah.
Like, I built character up there. So, like, I would say that some men need it. They don't listen to their mums at home or, you know, their parents. So go in prison. And then when you've got someone who's 10 years older than you, who's done everything that you think you need to do, and, you know, they tell you a few things, and then, you know, you'll straighten up pretty quick.
Yeah.
You know, so I think sometimes people need it. So, you know, for us men anyway, 20s is all about learning, right? So you either learn on the streets or learning there. So you know, when you said, like, for me, that was the pivotal moment at the second time, because I realized I was going to come out when I was 29.
Wow. And
I realized that, shit, you know what? I really need to fix up. Like, what am I doing? Like, I'm going to spend most of my 20s in prison. So it was the second time I kind of woke up. And I thought, right, get your shit together, fix up. So that's when I started even going gym hard inside prison, started getting in shape, started reading books, started getting close to my faith, and just realizing that, you know what, this time when you come out, I'm not going back into the same place. The first thing I said to myself, the first thing I'm going to do is move out of my area.
Okay.
And that's what I would say to people. Like, if I was to even give someone some advice, you know, it depends on what problem you're facing, right? So everyone's problems are different. But the first thing I would really say is that, you know, you are the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Simple. So if you spend time with 4 people that go to the gym, you're going to be the 5th person who goes to the gym with them. But if you hang around with 4 people that, you know, go to parties every weekend, or 4 idiots, you're going to be the 5th idiot. That's just the way it is. So you have to quickly decide who you're going to choose your 5 people, or even 3 people or 2 people, whoever it is. You need to decide who it is that you want to be, around ambitious people or around idiots. And that's something you have to decide for yourself. And then from there, make your next move. So your environment is super key.
Okay. So I've done some research on you, right?
Yeah.
And I seen something happen to your younger brother. I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
What happened to him?
Tell me what it was. Is it drugs?
I didn't hear that. That's not what I heard.
So what is it?
He passed away.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, my other brother, yeah. So...
How many do you have?
4. Yeah, so I was coming close to the end of my second sentence.
Yeah.
And he basically passed away. So he had a car accident. So he was like 21. And really good kid. And you know when they're young, it was his friend's wedding. So they hired a car amongst them, like a nice car amongst 4 or 5 of them. And because they hired the car, they wanted to drive the car for the whole 24 hours that they've got the car, because they need to give it back. So they finished the wedding and they said to each other that, you know what, let's just drive around in the car. Let's just chill till 3, 4 in the morning. And they weren't like doing anything. They were just driving around. But they went and picked the driver up, some guy up who wasn't at the wedding. Now, started driving the car, and I think it was 4 a.m. or something, and they seen the police, and the guy that was driving was not insured or something, and he put his foot down, and then it was in this Manchester, in this place where it's a little curve, so he's driving this car, I think it's some sport car, and he's lost control, so as he's gone over this thing, he's gone right into the lamppost, so it was 5 of them in the car, the driver, someone in the passenger, and 3 people in the back. And it was all 3 people that died on the spot. My brother was one of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
My condolences.
And then what about the 2 in the front?
So the driver survived, and I think that even the passenger had some injuries, or he died as well on the spot. Yeah, everyone died apart from the driver, and the driver didn't even go to the wedding.
And I'm guessing you was in prison and the same thing happened.
No, I wasn't in prison. I was on a home leave, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I was on a home leave.
What's that?
So, when you get towards the end of your sentence,
You get to go out early.
you get to come home like once a month for a weekend.
All right.
Right. They start doing that in your last year. So where was I? So I was at home, and they got a knock on 6 o'clock in the morning by the police, and they come and just give us that news. Yeah.
How did you feel?
Just really awful. I think because I'm the eldest in my household, so it was like flipping hell. Like, it was more not even you talk to yourself. Like I was like, where did things go wrong? Do you know what I mean? Mum's gone, little brother's gone. Like I've just spent 10 years nearly in prison. It's just stupid. Like, we need to get our shit back on. But it's all mindset. People either end up losing the plot, or you think, right, how can I fix this now? Because I'm a big believer of, what's the word? It's a physics principle, the law of polarity, which means that if something's super, super negative, it has to have a super, super positive aspect to it, and vice versa. So I'm a big believer of that now. Obviously, I didn't know that at the time. So it was like, so if you look at anything in life, it's what you choose to focus on.
Yeah. So,
like, for example, that fell, we could think, oh, shit, it's the end. Or we could just laugh about it.
Yeah,
it's how you choose to look at something.
Put some toothpaste on it.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that with anything in life. So when you approach everything like that, and everything with the, physics principles and the first principles, everything becomes easy. It's just normal then.
You came out of prison.
Yeah.
And you needed to fix up.
Yep.
What's the first
I would say
thing
I fixed up before I come out this time, the second time. So I was like on a mission when I come out this time.
So walk us through first day out.
First day out, I think it was haircut, and I stayed at home. Yeah, and it was just more...
Get fresh.
Yeah, haircut and just stayed at home. Good food. Went to the gym. Got a gym membership.
Yeah.
Got a few gym clothes. Went shopping a little bit, some new trainers and this and that. And then it was just pretty much at home then. I didn't really want to go out because I was so focused this time. It was more about, I need to move out of my area. I need to figure out a plan of what I'm going to do next. And I think for the first 5-6 months, I was just studying and just learning, thinking what I'm going to do next. So it was pretty much just for the first 6 months anyway.
So what did you do next?
Yeah, so because I've always been in business, it was just, I wanted to open up a business. So I opened my first business, which was a restaurant business. Yeah.
Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so I went to one of my dad's friends and said, borrow me some money. I want to open up a restaurant. And it was a franchise. So we opened a restaurant, and that was my first big business that I opened, yeah. And then I done that for a few years and made some good money from that. Went into property game, put money into the property game. And then I realized that it wasn't fulfilling my passion. I wasn't really enjoying going to the restaurant, even though making good money from it. It just wasn't serving my passions, and it's not what I was here to do, because I realized that my passions come from teaching and from helping people grow their businesses and becoming better people in the process. Yeah. So then all the expertise and all the lessons that I learned from running a bricks and mortar business and property business, I then went and, bear in mind at the very same time, I was working with mentors and working out how to really run a business and how to working on my personal development stuff, and then gathered all that knowledge and all that experience, and then I went into business mentoring, and that's what I do now. So, so business is something I love, where I love sitting down with business owners and entrepreneurs, and we can see like how we can scale your business for you, and how we can help you make more money from your current business. Like that part, I really enjoy that part. It's good. So that's where I am today.
Yeah. So properly sounds like, well, it really does sound like you did a full 180 leaving out of prison, studied, worked hard, took the path of entrepreneurship.
Of course.
It's proper enlightening. What advice would you give to those who obviously probably in the same situation where you was the first time, when they come out of prison and they don't know what to do, but all they know is the past life?
Yeah.
What would you say to them to get started and start making money straight away?
Yeah, you know what it is, like, they don't even need to start making money. They need to, especially these days, we've got social media. It's so easy now to find people, role models and business mentors and people like that who are doing it. It's so easy to do that. Yeah. So if you want to go into properties, again, like I said, find the top 10 people in that area, find the top 10 networking events in that area, go there, right? If you was to say to someone, yeah, where's the best party this weekend, they'll figure that out, but they can't figure out where the top business networking event is in that area. It's so easy to figure all that out. You just have to do some research. It's a platform called Google. You just type in there, like business networking events or property networking events, and they'll all come up.
Yeah.
So that's what people need to do. So and start going to these networking events. Start hanging around with people who are, doing similar stuff to what you want to do, and that's how doors open up. It's conversations that you have with people that open up doors. Yeah. It's the relationships that translate into money. So you have to go to these sort of places and events, and that's how doors and things will open up for you. So yeah, that's
some good information for them guys out there as well.
Yeah, 100%, bro. That's what they need to do. People don't need to think money will come to you. Go and get a job. Maybe do that at the start if you don't know what you need to do straight away, because sometimes when you get so young, you don't know what you want to do exactly. So just go and this is what I would say. So let's say that you want to be property developer. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Go to a property developer and say, I'll work for you for free. Or can I shadow you? Or can I work for you? Yeah. I'll do, and learn from, see how they move, see how they talk to business owners, see how they make the deals, and learn from them. Do that for 5 years. I guarantee you after 5 years, you'll learn so much, you can go and do it yourself. So that's what that's what people need to do.
One question.
Yeah.
I just want to know what your mind was thinking when you came out. All the stuff you done in the past.
Yeah.
All the terrible things, the kidnapping, robberies, the whatever. Did you ever feel bad for those people now that you've come out on the other side?
Of course I felt bad. When I think it was from when I come out, it was like when I see them, I'm gonna just apologize to them. That's if I do see them.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm a big believer of when you do things wrong, things come back to you. So, for me, it was like I just want to apologize because I'm a different person. I'm looking back at that, and even now, we had a conversation about it because you asked me, but it's like I'm not proud of all that stuff. Yeah. If I could see them, I would totally apologize and be like, look, I was a different person then. Is there anything I can do to support you and help you now? And I'm in a position where I can and I would. So yeah, man, totally remorseful, and it's not a proud thing to do. It's just stupid. It's just not a good thing to do. So yeah.
Before we end it off,
yeah,
I want to know.
Yeah.
What's the most horrific thing you've seen on the streets? Whether you've done it or you've seen someone do it or you've just heard the story.
Yeah, someone's kneecap getting took off.
What? Huh?
Yeah, so your kneecaps.
Yes.
Yeah, so someone shot at the back of your kneecap.
At the back?
Yeah.
Why do I feel like I've seen that in Top Boy?
Where they're
meant to shoot at the back of the knee.
I don't watch films, so yeah. I've seen plenty of things, bro, because I've been on the streets, innit?
So what do you see on the streets?
So what? They shot in the back of the kneecap.
Yeah.
They survive? Yeah.
Yeah, they do survive. Yeah, of course they survive. You know, there's loads of things similar to you know, like violence sort of stuff I've seen. You know, like in prison, I've seen fights break out where people have threw pool balls at each other's faces, splattered someone's nose, splattered someone's eye. You know, so you know, just stuff like that. But I'm sure it's more horrific things that you guys have seen on movies.
Oh, movies, but movies.
Yours is IRL. Go on, give us one story.
What in terms of
what you seen that's horrific?
Yeah, you know what it is? It's how you define horrific as well. Like for me, like it was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and you know, like people have been shot. I've seen people being shot. They haven't died though, but I've seen people being shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I want
you guys are gonna get me some charges. I'm gonna get knocked on the police door and be like, listen, interview.
Nah, but I would ask you most importantly, because I want to do on a positive note. So obviously one thing I was checked out was obviously the scaling the businesses and obviously helping people grow the mindset. If you was to pick anyone, because I know you said you only work with, is it people who are earning?
Yeah, so as long as you're doing 6 figures, which is not a lot.
Figures,
like like what is it, like $8,000 a month? And it's not profit. It's like, so you're making $2,000 a week.
Yeah. So what kind of mindset do you need, and how do you help them to cultivate it to get to earning more than 6 figures to possibly 7?
Yeah, bro. You know what it is? Like people don't think big enough. People don't know what they actually really, the potential that they have. And what I've seen is a belief issue. So when I've gone to someone and they've this business hasn't scaled just because they haven't got the right systems in. Well, why haven't you got the right systems in? They're doing everything themselves. And in order to grow, you have to bring more people in, especially when you reach a certain, like if you're making $500,000, you need a team now. You need to bring more people in that kind of do some of the stuff that you're doing so you can step back and focus on other things, how you can grow your business. You have to bring professionals in. You can't be a control freak then after a certain point. Like, for example, if you wanted to grow this podcast, you have to eventually bring editors in. Mm-hmm. You have to eventually have people set this up because your time's valuable. So it's like you come in and just do your stuff. And as bigger, like Stephen Barlett, you mentioned Stephen Barlett, he's got a research person. He's got, even I can't comprehend it. He's got a person that just trailers.
Yeah.
He's got did you watch it? Yeah. He's got a person that so if me and you are like, we're having a conversation, this person was just listening to have a conversation and be like, oh, we'll clip that. So they're already just sole purposes, stuff like that. So it's like, it's going to make the show even better and bigger. So it's like, that's why I see with business owners that they don't have the belief they can do it, they can charge more. And most of the time we sort their prices out. I show them the structures they need to grow their business. And pretty much because they're in the swing of it, they're blind to everything. So, and they're smart anyway. So I'll just show them 1-2 things, and it depends on the business, of course. And the business starts booming. Yeah. Nice. But one thing I would say is that, you know, for your audience, because I've got a book, I'd love to give all your readers a free, an ebook.
An ebook?
Yeah.
Definitely put that in the bio as well.
So when you're about to release this, let me know. I'll send you a link where they can get it all for free.
Just put that in the description.
Yeah, because I don't think the business book might help them because it's for business owners who are doing certain, but it might do, but I'll give you the mindset book.
Okay.
So because funny enough, we have a lot of the young viewers, and obviously just down the road from us, we have Aston, where it's a lot of the Asian boys, and obviously they do their thing, and you know, some get in trouble, some don't.
Yeah.
What advice would you just give to them to keep them off the roads or to make them see a better way in their
Get
lives?
around people like you and get people around like me. Like, see what we do. Like, even for you boys now, you need to start putting out, you know, like networking events, get people together. And just make sure, like, just have some positivity around like what you do, and do a Q&A every month. Do it.
True.
Build a community. Like, that's what they need to do, because you guys are role models. So it's like they need to follow your footsteps, and then people like me follow me, see what we do, and that's how it all works. It's all who you hang around with, who you listen to, who you watch. So and it comes down to how much do you really want it.